In the previous video, we've successfully added new feature to display the data in the trash. So here we can restore data or delete it permanently. The missing piece here is that the files belong to the post or stay in the server when we remove it permanently. Similarly, when we perform edit the post, let's say we change the post image with new one, the old files still remain. You can imagine there will be many unused files left on the server. Let's open backend blog controller, and here let's create a new method. For example, remove image. In this method, let's define a parameter to pass the image name. Here we make sure the image is not empty. Then we define a variable of the image pool path. We'll remove the file using unlink function if it exists in the server. Remember, we create a thumbnail when upload an image, so we need to remove it as well. Let's duplicate the image path and change it to thumbnail path. Up here, we define the thumbnail. Then append _thumb before the file extension. Get the file extension of original image. Last, remove the thumbnail if it exists. Now we have a new method to remove the image of the post. We'll call it in force destroy method. Let's find a post which has an image and a thumbnail. Let's move it to the trash. Go to trash table. Then, before we delete it permanently, let's see its files in our editor. Now let's remove it. Let confirmation dialog show up. Click OK. Now the post is removed from database. Back to editor and see. Alright, the files is successfully removed. We can apply this method to the update method. Here, let's assign the old image before being updated. Then, after update, let's match the new image with the old. If it's different, that means the image has changed and we need to remove the old. Now, let's try to modify a post. Let's see. Here are the files. Pick a new image. And update. Let's see. Now the old images file are removed. Next, let's fix the pagination in the trash page. Firstly, let's make the pagination appear. Go to blog index and move several posts into the trash. Go to trash page, and now the pagination appears. Now let's try to click the pagination. It turns out that we'll be taken to the blog index. To fix this, let's open the backend index.php, and here let's call appends method before render. In this method, we can call request query to get query string in the current URL. Now let's go back to the trace and try the pagination link again. Okay, now it stays in the trace page. Then, let's add some additional links to filter posts based on publication status. Published, schedule, and draft. Let's go back to index method in backend block controller. Move the only trace variable above, so this means we do not display the post in the trace by default. Here we check if the status in query string is published. Then we call published scope to display the published posts. Then, if the status is scheduled, we call scheduled scope to display scheduled posts. Last, let's check if the status is draft. Then we call draft scope to display all draft posts. Now let's create the scopes in the post model. We can display scheduled posts which published at is greater than the current time. Otherwise, we can display draft posts if the published at is null. Let's try to click each link. Okay, I think all filter is work. The last thing we could do is showing the number of posts in each link. Let's go back to block controller, create a new method, let's say status list. Here we simply return an associative array contain pairs of status and number of posts. Then here, just call that method and assign to status list variable and paste it to the view. Here in index.php, let's change the existing links. Let's store all links in links variable. Then render our links by separating each link with a pipe character. Lastly, let's mark the selected link. Here we match the status in URL with a key. If it's matched, we add selected status class. In backend CSS custom CSS, let's create new CSS rule. Reload. Okay, now the selected link indicate with font bold.